Alright, what is up, everybody? Round 2. So, yeah, I had a headache. It's mostly gone. Still feel a little off, but it's not too bad. Let's see what we can do on the co-op account here, though. But yeah, that was awful timing. I just gotten the stream going, and then I got a fucking headache. It was terrible, but I think we can handle it now, right? I think double Alex looks pretty good. We'll do the account review if he is here, but no rush. And Cobb, thank you for the 16 months, dude. I appreciate it. It is a long time. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I do feel a bit better. Wasn't too bad, honestly. I just laid down, took my medicine, and it's not too big of a deal. Anyway, we're quick. There is no budget quick support because this game is an ass. I mean, that's not really that helpful, to be honest. Bring a Berserker, there's Mash. This is probably a trash stage, so let's do Lancelot. I love that I got Lancelot and 2 summon tickets. I'm very happy about that. OP. Alright, we will go with Salami and then Billy for Bond. Alright. Throw K-Scope. Another K-Scope. Just throw K-Scope on literally everybody. What could possibly go wrong? That. Like starting NP is good or something. Especially when you don't have secondary damage effects. We have one. We have one for Buster, and that's it. You know, maybe there'll be a quick support for budget in Lost Belt 7. I mean, that's not crazy. 6.5 had a low star in it. Not a very useful one, but still. Hopefully Lost Belt 7 just has something that I vaguely want so I can roll for Coup coins, because I really would like Coup to be 120 in Lost Belt 7. Like, it sucks just sitting there at 118, man. But, yeah, we don't know that much about Lost Belt 7 thematically. Like what kind of servants are going to be there, we don't have much of an idea. Alright, we'll do, big game here. Yeah, I still feel a little off, but, a bit of a headache, but not too bad. I don't think they're going to add a batch of low stars. I think, like, one at a time is about as good as it's going to get right now, but maybe in future. Alright, I want to make some NP for back Alex and Lancelot. We'll do just like that. Maybe I should have just focused on Lancelot and done the art card first. Yep, because he would have actually gotten his NP, and 1 unit getting their NP is better than 2 units almost getting their NP. Can't wait for them to run Orc for me. Hopefully they won't. That would suck a lot. Don't know why I just switched targets. I didn't click anywhere over there. That was really strange. Alright, here we go. Kill everything. Surely he can... Well, actually, I don't know if he can do 53k, so Alex is probably going to kill everything. We'll see. Wait, what leaks are there? Because I'm not going to lie, leaks for FGO are pretty inconsistent. Most things do get leaked, but there's always so many fake leaks, nobody has any idea what's real. But are there like leaks of Ort being stupid? Basically waifuing foreigner Ort. I don't think they're going. I don't know if I believe that. I mean, you never know. I mean, okay. I'd believe it if I saw it. Absolutely, right? It's not like Type Moon doesn't do shit like that. But I don't think he would do that, really. That actually sounds like the kind of fan fake leak that people would think of, right? I really don't think they're gonna go that way. But if they do go that way, I'm not gonna be like, whoa, how did Type Moon do something this stupid, right? You know, my expectations are kind of low. But yeah, I don't think that's... I need some more substance to a leak than that. That's definitely like that's like what fans think Type Moon does. Guess we'll see. I mean, like I said, it's not gonna like blow my mind if the waifu Ort, but I would certainly hope not. That would suck, man. That would suck so much. God, you know what the excuse will be? Is like the VV thing. That's what their excuse is gonna be. Even though the whole VV thing was supposed to be really unique to Venus, that was the point. Right? It wasn't like normal. Why is Salami on the team? Excuse me, what? This is Uncle Nasu, yeah. Everybody that thinks it's a good idea just likes waifus and they don't give a shit about Ort to begin with. Okay guys, can we stop having the same question over and over? We're just saying. Goddamn. I mean, Nasu basically makes up rules to allow him to break other rules. That's like what he does. Like, hey, I need this, I want to have this thing happen in this story, so I'm just gonna make this shit up and then never use this rule ever again. It's a decent amount of HP for a filler stage. It's a shame I accidentally brought Salami, because having double Alex buffs would be really nice right here. Alex is probably gonna hit harder than Lancelot. That's kind of sad to say, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the case. Because NP5, NP2, etc, etc. Or being fused with an Aztec god or something. Oh boy. That would explain, I'm not gonna lie though, that would actually explain the intro where you see Ort's outline, because it doesn't look exactly like Ort. It just looks really similar, but if you actually match it up to the concept art of Ort and stuff, it doesn't actually one-to-one match up. So that actually would make sense if it's like Ort but different. That's dumb though. I just want Ort to be Ort for God's sakes. I mean, it's been something like around the Natsuverse for so long, but never really tangible. It's like the last kind of thing I want to see them do something weird with. Why can't you be normal? That's kind of how I feel about FGO all the time. Like, they even said in that interview that they don't want to do normal stuff anymore, and I'm just like, oh great. Now we're just being weird for the sake of being weird. And also, when you do want to have stuff that's crazy and wacky or whatnot, it stands out a lot better when everything around it isn't also crazy and wacky. When everything's crazy and wacky, nothing is. And yeah, I think Fate's starting to not do so good in that department. Alright, eat the buffs, try to kill this 80k one. 10, 20, 40, that's not ideal. Come on, there you go, easy. I mean, everything's normal within its own sphere of what it's supposed to be, right? Like, we have a good outline of what types are at this point, and like what their designs are. Like, Ort's had an official design for years, and it's been referenced like in Fate Strange Fake again and everything. So he obviously has a normal, right? Like, we've known, it's not like Ort's some abstract concept we've known nothing about this whole time, right? It's like he's been a pretty You know, his character material book was pretty clear on a lot of stuff, and you know, he's had a set design for a really long time. So when you finally use it, you don't actually follow that initial outline. That's just being fucking weird, especially if it's fused with an Aztec god. Like, remember that alien that's, you know, from space? Yeah, no, now it's actually an Aztec. It's like, that's pretty fucking weird. Like, what's weirder here? Alien or alien fused with Aztec god, right? Like, it's just not, it's not complicated. Like, that's clearly just being silly. But they're probably gonna, they've already kind of made the Aztec gods aliens, but that doesn't make it any better, because it's like, why are you gonna have one alien now fused with another alien, like on Earth, and then now it's in human history for some fucking reason, right? Like, it's just silly. Like, I feel like they're just gonna make up a bunch of shit on the spot, which is what FGO does constantly. But yeah, they kind of hinted at the Aztec gods being alien, but I don't think that really changes anything. But we'll see. You know, it's pretty common that people are all like, oh man, this is a legit leak, and then it's not. I mean, the amount of like fake leaks around Lost Vault 5 were nuts. And like, some people did get some of the information right, but way more of them were wrong. So I will reserve judgment until we actually get there. And you know, every once in a while they do really weird stuff. And then they also, you know, incorporate the normal version as well, right? They do stuff like that sometimes, so you never know. By the way, though, if they make some Aztec bimbo fused with Ort, and that gets to be playable, and fucking Zeus, Aphrodite, and Demeter, right, aren't, that, fuck you, game, right? Like, that's so fucking stupid. Literally, the only Lost Belt King that isn't playable is the only one that I actually want. Great. Okay, I didn't think that was so early in the story. Well, we, yet again, I like how this is almost the exact same team that I brought last time we fought Lobo that is horrible against Lobo. So I'm just expecting trash mobs. Wasting my AP game. Okay, let's see here. Honestly, what we did before is probably best we're gonna get here. It doesn't really need that though, that's pointless. 20-30 is fine. Debuff success chance would be fine, so you actually land a charm. I've got Shinji. I do, yeah, let's just do that. Unless I think the crits are better. Yeah, let's go with the crits. When was the last time they released a new servant that was actually popular? I mean, Zhufu was popular, Arc was decently popular, the summer servants were popular, Morgan was unbelievably popular, Vortigern was really popular. Moriarty's kind of popular, but like he's not even close to you know, Morgan and Vortigern and that kind of thing. But he did do well. You know, he's definitely not disliked. But I think Archewade is actually the one though that's overhyped. I don't think she was that popular. I really don't. I don't think she was unpopular. But everyone's like, oh, look how much money they made. I'm pretty sure that was because of summer, right? Like, because it was in the same month as summer, and like there was a lot of really popular summer stuff there. Like I'm sure Archewade sold totally fine, but I think what really blew up there was just the combination of Archewade, but then Zhufu, Summer, and everything else. Actually, they were gonna put Saber as the Grand, or Tori as a Grand Saber in Lost Belt 6, but kind of like late in development, they changed some stuff. Because yeah, that came out that they were going to use Green Knight, which that kills me. But they were going to use Green Knight originally in Lost Belt 6. And Gwaine was going to be a side character, and his whole thing was going to be like trying to stop the Green Knight at all costs. And like there was going to be some kind of weird fusion between King Lot and Green Knight going on. But fairly late into it, they changed that around. And you can actually see how, because some of the side quest stuff and like side character stuff in Lost Belt 6 is really tacked on in a way that it's modular, right? Like some of the side stuff you do, it wouldn't matter if it was Green Knight or someone else. It wouldn't matter, right? And so you can actually kind of see how they could have worked that in. But yeah, that's like completely confirmed that they were going to use Green Knight, and that got cut. It was going to be regular Morgan, and then what did Nasu say? It was so stupid, but like Nasu was like, this design doesn't work for Morgan, so let's change her character completely and make her a giant waifu. That's essentially what he did. But yeah, they were originally going to use regular Morgan, and then they just decided no. And yeah, they cut Green Knight, and there was something else too. There was something else that they cut. Oh yeah, Artoria. Artoria was gonna be a Grand Saber that showed up at the end or something. But yeah, honestly, once I learned all that, you can really tell, because some of those areas. Oh yeah, like Oberyn wasn't gonna be Oberyn Vortigern, if I remember correctly. It was gonna just be Oberyn. And there was something else. I can't remember what it was. There was something else with Oberyn, like how he was originally going to be used. But Nasu just decided to like make his role bigger, and you can just kind of tell with the way that he's a villain at the end that it doesn't really matter that it's him. I said I'm glad I said this in advance, but before I knew this stuff, like me and Cairo both had said that like all this stuff with Vortigern at the end doesn't really make any sense. It's tacked on. You could change Vortigern out for literally any bad guy. You could change Oberyn out for literally any character. It didn't matter, right? It wasn't like it wasn't unique to the characters or their motivations or anything. It was just so tacked on. And then the fact that they weren't originally going to do it makes a lot of sense, because they kind of just basically they took what they like wanted to do with some of the other like villains, and I think attributed it to Oberyn that they originally weren't going to do. Yeah, it was something like that where Nasu didn't want Evil Morgan to use that design for some reason. I guess it's because he just liked the design and he wanted it to be a more sympathetic character and stuff. I kind of figured that though, like with the way Morgan was, it was like Nasu went into it intentionally trying to make her like really sympathetic. And I think they actually went too far with it to the point where it just feels kind of forced, but that's just me. Yeah, if I remember correctly, Oberyn wasn't supposed to have anything to do with any other character, like, being fused. I have to look again, but I'm pretty sure it was just going to be Oberyn. Yeah, I've never liked Lost Belt 6. I've always felt like it was a total clusterfuck. They made up a bunch of bullshit that made no sense, and none of it's relevant ever again. You know, it's like a singularity inside of a Lost Belt, and all. It's just like, what the fuck? You know, made a new world line on it, but it then just gets erased, and it's just like, the fuck? You know, it's just... I really was not big on it. I like some of the characters in it, you know, like, it's not like every element of it I dislike. But as a total package, I'm really just not that big on it. It could be worse, I guess, but it's definitely pretty low on my tier list of favorite stories in FGO, I'll put it that way. Alright, let's see. No need to charm or any of that nonsense. We'll just art chain, I guess? Yeah. No stars, but it'll do. But yeah, I'm just salty that we were gonna get Green Knight and that got cut. But the only silver lining there is they probably have an official design for Green Knight then. Like, it sounded like they were fairly far along with some of this stuff. And like, you generally will design those characters, like at least an outline of the character really early. So they probably have an official design of Green Knight now. So maybe if they ever have a reason to revisit Camelot stuff or Gwaine stuff, they might use it. The bad thing is though, Gwaine has always been one of the round table knights they've used the most. And he's got a lot of character development because of that, and that's nice, but that makes me feel that they're less likely to use Gwaine anytime soon. And hey Sid, if I think we'll do your account review now that you're actually here, so that seems fair. But let me try to murder this boss here. Alright, fire everything. Although maybe I should have done one at a time because she's got 2 quick cards. A little late now, but yeah, okay, I guess I'll buff Kairos because Kairos has the higher crit chance. And then the Star Absorber is more likely to work out. Although it kinda didn't. Alright, give me that defense down, then boom boom. 70%. Okay, good. Thankfully, we know from that Green Knight was not going to be gender bent, but it wasn't going to be pure Green Knight either. It was going to be like Green Knight fused with King Lot. But hopefully they'll just not do the... I mean, you know, that's not the worst thing you could do, but I'd rather just have Green Knight be Green Knight. Yeah, Lady Beatrix, every her name, but they might use that at some point, but I think that'd be a separate thing. Because again, they kind of already have confirmed that it's a guy. Now, technically, we don't even know King Lot's going to be a guy, and, you know, Japan's pronouns aren't really like English pronouns, so it's more, it's nothing set in stone. But like what they've said in Gwen's bio and voice lines and stuff is the Green Knight is monstrous and those kinds of things. And King Lot is probably a guy, so I'd say it's very likely that Green Knight is going to be a guy. However, they've already done stuff where it's like, yeah, this character is a guy, but what you're actually summoning is their wife. They've done that multiple times, right? So they could be like, yeah, Green Knight's a guy, of course, but you're actually getting his wife pretending to be the Green Knight, because fuck you, this makes sense, right? Also, I wish we could do Alex's buff removal again, because he has 2 crit buffs, an attack buff, and 2 defense ups, so that would be incredible, but oh well. Do it like that. Yeah, and you got Jacques de Molly, right? Don't get me started on that. You know, there's really no guarantee with Ty Moon these days. But Green Knight doesn't seem like... He doesn't have any of the signs that they would gender bend. And like, I wouldn't care if they added Green Knight's wife as a character. I'd actually be totally for that. But then also add the Green Knight. And like, I don't get why they don't do this more often, right? If like the amount of times that they've done shit like this and they just don't add the other, like, why? Like, you can have Arthur and Artoria, right? You can have, you know, what's that, the dragon shit thing where it's probably the wife instead of, like, you can have both, right? Like, just do both, right? So if you want to add, you know, Green Knight's wife and then Green Knight, you know, that's, you know, no big deal. No problem with that. But they like to just do one, and then they just never add the other thing. You know, this is not going as well as the previous boss. Well, that's bad. Let's see. Alright, that's a thing. Okay, just please don't insta-death. The value lost here, because I want to use both defense ups next turn. But the value lost here if he insta-deaths. So he probably just lose if he does that. You know, originally I would say they really shouldn't add Sita because of the lore, but because we've got Kriemhilda and Brunhilde, there actually is no excuse now. Like, if they're allowed, then there's no reason Sita shouldn't be allowed. And like, you should just add her for no reason. You should make a side story or something where you explain, you know, how you get rid of the curse or get around it or whatever, you know, do something with it. Don't just randomly put her in the game, but they really should. But I'm kind of worried they're not going to, especially because they were like, LOL, we're putting her in arcade. But we're not putting Rama in arcade. I think they think they're so clever with that. Meanwhile, no one actually plays arcade. I wish that was true. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Sega was like pulled out of arcades except for FGO arcades. Yeah, I don't think anyone's happy they're exclusive. Definitely not. But the thing is, again, Nasu's not a good game dev. I've always said that, and I think he's just like, you know, he'll implement mechanics and things like Sita being an arcade and not in the regular game, and you know, it's like a lore thing, and he just doesn't care about the game side of it. Okay, now it is very unlikely that you would die here, but I'm going to heal anyway. I'm going to do this to get the defense downs, to get our NP here, and then we can do a lot of damage next turn. We should be able to win from this. The only way we would lose is if Jinkei died that turn, which he got triple attacked, so Lobo was trying. Thankfully, we had all that defense up and damage cut. Arcade's gameplay is not like the worst thing ever, and like the way you can work with your teammates and cover each other is actually kind of interesting, but it's completely ruined by the business model and how like blatantly pay to win it is and stuff like that. Like the core concept I don't think is bad, but I think the business model corrupts it to such an extreme that there's not much value left. Might as well do that. Alright, wanted to get Charlotte NP gain, but there's no way. I hope Arcade shuts down at some point and then they remake it, like repurpose it on like PC or, you know, PlayStation or whatever, because some arcade games have done that. And then they make it a normal video game, then it could be alright. You need to touch it up though, for sure. And they probably wouldn't. Because they released Extella Link like it was fine. Right? Like, and this is the problem with Fate fans. They're on so much copium, and they're so blinded by just the Fate IP that they'll accept something like Extella Link and then actually defend it. I see so many like Extella Link apologists that act like it's a good game. And it's like one of the most shallow pieces of shit I have ever seen. And like and that's pretty common for Dynasty Warriors games, don't get me wrong, but when you look at like the Dynasty Warriors that like Nintendo has put out, right, like the Zelda ones and the Fire Emblem ones and stuff, they're still shallow fun, but they are able to flush it out enough where it's actually fun, right? Where Extella Link is just so brain dead shallow with like it's bad. I mean, it's just bad. Like, you might like the Fate IP and you think it's fun smacking things around with Gwaine or, you know, whatever, you know, Drake, etc., and look at the cool animations, but like, you know, that doesn't make a good game. And also, even when you want to just play it for fancy combos and cool attack animations and stuff, they're not that good in Extella Link. Extella Link is very floaty, the animations don't connect very well, the camera's shit, right? I mean, the game is very floaty, right? And it's just doesn't feel good. And again, when you compare that to like the Fire Emblem, Dynasty Warriors games and the Zelda ones and things like that, it's so far behind. I mean, it's like laughable. But no, I see people defending Extella Link like it's a perfectly good game when it is just utter shovelware. You know, Arcade is, you know, I think its core combat's not as shovelware, but it's not like light years better either, so. Alright, let's check out Sid's account. I've got the folder up here. I have not looked at this yet, though. Alrighty, I think Sid said he's been playing for about four months. Alright, so we don't have any text or context to go along with this, so this might be a little bit difficult. Before I do anything, I always skip ahead. What is going on here? Why? Oh, I see. We got two pictures for the NP rank and the skills. Okay, well, I'm going to skip ahead to casters because a lot of times you end up building around what supports you have, so that's rather important. Okay, so we have Hans in the worst state ever, Mozart in the worst state ever, Asclepius, that's good at least, Circe, and Caster Guild. So you already have like a real slant towards art, because Caster Gilgamesh is a legitimately good support, and then you've got Mozart, although Jesus Christ, you need to unlock his third skill, because his third skill is his most important one. So you gotta go do the quest. So like do that immediately, like right now, actually. But yeah, Mozart's third skill, big help. Obviously get Hans's skills up. His third and second are the most important. I forget what level you need to get. I think his second skill only needs to be like 4. Right, you just get like Hans's second skill to like rank 4, and then comboing it with a lot of basic craft essences will allow him to 100% NP right away. But the third skill is probably the most important. It's very good for general use. So if you've got like Mozart, Hans, Caster, Gilgamesh, and then Mash, that's a baseline of supports that will get you through most content. Eventually, though, you're probably going to want to level that Qin Gong. Qin Gong is really, really good. That would be the next thing. Like really just work on what you have, I would say. But if you're going to level something, level Qin Gong, and then after that, probably Babbage, just because Babbage is so good these days. Like if you need a budget DPS caster, because you've got Cersei, and Cersei's not always enough on her own. So I would say like Babbage is really good backup. If you don't like Babbage though, you could do Casterku instead, and that's totally fine. But yeah, I would level Casterku or Babbage as a backup DPS for Cersei. But that would not be my top priority right now. Like you've already got enough casters, and Gilgamesh is fine. So if I was gonna do anything with casters, it would just be your skill ranks and that kind of thing. So yeah, caster would not be super high priority. All right, let's go back to the beginning here. Okay, so the only art saber you have is Jason, which he's not really worth it. So that's another reason then to get Qin Gong, because what you really need is a quick support, but there aren't any. So good luck with that one. But there's always Hans and Mash and that kind of thing. But let's see. So you've got AoE and single target here, so you're mostly fine. You have Bedivir's NP rank. He's only NP 1. Okay, that's a bit rough. So Bedivere is good. So if it was me, right now, this advice is not universal because it's going to change depending on like what you care about in the game. Why are their order changing? Oh, it's because of the NP ranks. Anyway, so if it was me, I would set aside a chunk of SQ and try to get more Bedivere, because it's not like you have such strong sabers you're not going to need Bedivere, right? So if it was me, I would either save up and roll story, try to get Bedivere, or I'd wait for a saber class banner or White Day, because you can get Bedivere in White Day and stuff like that. And I would try to get him to a higher NP rank, but that's because I like Bedivere and I like free to play, and I don't care about the gold servant so much that it's like a big sacrifice to try to get Bedivere, right? Because you don't have to get Bedivere though, right? If the only issue here is like your sitting master, Yagyu, he's only NP 1, so he's never going to do that much damage. Your twins, they're only NP 1, so again, they're only going to do so much damage. Benny, only NP 1, right? So even though they're high rarity and they're good, of course they're good, they're not going to be like your just super boss nuker, right? If you got Bedivere to NP 5, he would actually be a better nuker for like just quick break that HP bar. But you could use Caesar, because Caesar's really good. The problem with Caesar is you don't have a quick support, you don't have a battery support. Caesar's problem is he doesn't get battery very quickly, so he's kind of awkward on your account. Like if you had Waver, I'd be like, yeah, level Caesar, he'll nuke the shit out of everything and you're good. But you don't have Waver. You really have like nothing that would give him battery other than Hans, so that makes Caesar less good. So if it was me, I'd be like, yeah, I want Bedivere. He's got a battery, he's Buster, I can level Qin Gong, get his NP rank up because he's a 3-star, nuke bosses. I have Castoria. Wait, what? Why is that not included in the picture? Because, oh, she's down there at the bottom. Oh, you have Smart Sword on. That's why. Yeah, it's generally best if you don't do that when sitting in recount reviews, because this will happen. But yeah, generally you want to... I should have said that. But yeah, Smart Sword is really bad when you do this stuff, because it'll hide most of your servants that are worth a damn. But yeah, if you have Castoria, that favors art dramatically, and again, you already have Gilgamesh and Mozart. So again, get Mozart's third skill for God's sakes. So that makes your twins though your best one, even though they're NP 1, they're probably still the best one. Really does suck though that like all your art servants here are NP 1, so you're like really handy. I'd still want Bedivere. I mean, 100%. Like that doesn't really change anything. I would still want Bedivere, because he's just really reliable. He's going to be way easier to get Bedivere to NP 5 than it is to get like even NP 2 of the twins. But yeah, it really is specific if you actually think you want to put that SQ into a character like that. Like generally your NP 1s with Castoria will be enough to beat most bosses. I can't think of a lot of Lancer bosses that would be a problem. So yeah, you don't need to get Bedivere. But if it was me, I would try to get Bedivere. Okay, so you do not pass the David test, not even close. You don't even have his second skill. And you definitely should do that. Like, no joke, having David get his second skill up as high as possible. If you've got like a David with a rank 10 second skill with your Castoria, you can handle really nasty boss fights with that, right? That's a good combo, right? Because you got Castoria's team-wide invulnerability, you got David's team-wide evade. You can put the evade behind the invulnerability and it won't get pinged off because it lingers for an unlimited amount of turns, right? You can do stuff like that. So David is a really good option for this account. He's good for most accounts, and he's a good boss killer anyway. Got his niche, gives you some team support. It's really good. Let's see, for AoE though, you've got Emiya, you've got Billy, Uriel. Get Arash's third skill for God's sakes. I mean, he's already level 60, so just do the damn quest, because Arash is really good for farming and stuff, and he's already max level, so like, why not get his third skill? So definitely get his third skill. Try to level it up enough so you can get the NP right away with like a reasonable starting NP CE. Really helps farming like big time. Even when you've got Castoria, it's really good. But Emiya's really good because you've got Castoria, right? So Emiya's great with that. He can be kind of pseudo single target while also being AoE, so that covers a lot of your bases. Really, the only archer I would level like quickly, like you really need to worry about, is David. Like, you've got your bases covered. Like Emiya gets you a lot of mileage, then Rosh gives you some AoE, and if the enemy happens to be male, you've got Uriel, and if they're not, you've got Billy, right? So you're fine on archers here. Maybe level Robin. I will say though, actually Robin's not a bad idea, because you do have Castoria. Robin Hood with Castoria is nuts. You can actually beat Fluffy with that pretty easily. And Robin Hood with Castoria is actually a stronger DPS here than like everything else in your archer slot. And unless they're like male and charmable with like Uriel, but like overall, like Robin is a really good option with Castoria. But it's not like you need to do it this second, because Emiya's fine. You know, David, if you get that and stuff, and generally you'll be okay. But yeah, when you get like some time and you're like, hey, I could level whatever, leveling Robin would be a really good idea, especially because of the Castoria stuff. Okay, Emiya's only NP1. Like, for even more so though, I would say, then you're probably going to want Robin because of that. But for farming, a lot of times NP1 will still be alright. Okay, we got Lancer here. Okay, so you've got a Grailed Summer Yu. She's pretty good, honestly. She's a pretty good generally unit. Unfortunately, you don't have a quick budget support because, you know, this game. Unnerf Robin, yeah, maybe someday. So this is a lot of work, but if you do want a farming monster, oh my god, we have smart sort nonsense again. Yeah, that really is annoying. But if you do want a farming monster, you could level up your Fionn. Because you have Castoria. He can just loop all over farming stages so easily if you have Castoria. But he is a high investment because you have to level up his skills a lot to like really get the NP gain and all that stuff and remove the RNG from his evade. So if you do get him to 10-10-10 though with Castoria, it's very strong. But it is a good bit of work, right? It does take a lot of effort to do it. And you have okay options without. The problem I'm seeing on this account though is you're just swimming in quick units. I mean, look at this. You've got Scath, right? She's quick. You got Ku, he's quick. You got Medea Lily, quick. You got Purple Boudica, that's quick. You got Summer Yu, that's quick, right? I think she's quick, right? It's either quick or Buster. I swear she's quick, but you have a lot of quick here, and yeah, you don't have any quick support, but that's kind of DW's fault. Sorry, Medusa Lily. They all start with M. They're all the same. But let's see, so for art, really the only thing you would have is Fionn, which you don't necessarily need though, because you have a lot of strong Lancers, but it wouldn't hurt. If I was going to level anything out of this lot, it would be that, or Leonidas, just because it's good to have taunts. I'll have to check if you have George or not, but Leonidas is always good to level. Easy investment, you don't need to level up his skills very much. He doesn't like require a lot of skill stuff. You just do his upgrade quest for his second skill. Always do your upgrade quests, by the way, chat. Always do your upgrade quests. Because one, if you don't do them, they build up and you have to do a million of them at once, and it's just super annoying, right? If you always do them when they're available, you're only doing a few here and there. You get SQ for doing it, you get Nats for doing it, and you just always want the buffs on your service. So always do your buff quests. And I can tell you're missing a lot of your buffs, so you know, that's the whole thing. Because a lot of your characters, they don't have their fucking third skills, you know, like Mozart. But yeah, you don't really need to level any of your Lancers. If I was going to level something though, it'd be Fionn or Leonidas. Okay, you got good MP ranks. So you're definitely free to play, by the way. I can tell very clearly that you're free to play. Which, you know, I'm free to play, so, you know, I'm always pro that. But all of your 5 stars are MP1, right? That's always a sign of... It's actually a sign of being free to play and also not having, like, rolling a lot. You're not rolling a lot on the same banner. You're rolling on a bunch of different banners. So nothing is getting to NP2. That's always a sign of that. Because you can be free to play and you can, you know, get NP2 on things, but it means you're only rolling on, like, you know, the one banner. Okay, so Ryder, this one's important. Okay, level George, level George, level George, level George. Every account, whale, free to play, new, old, doesn't matter. Everyone should always level George, level up his first skill as much as possible, and then have a second George on your account that is level 1, right? It's legitimately a good idea to have a level 1 George on your account and then have another one that's leveled up. But yeah, get George. Taunt walls are huge. There's loads of boss fights and things like that that are way easier if you have George. For farming though, you got Medusa. That's good. Medusa's a pretty good farming unit. You know, he's got battery, decent damage, good for that. Level Martha. Martha's great for, again, challenging content and the main story and all that because she's got buff removal for the enemies, debuff clear for you, team wide, very, very good. Like, Martha's great. She makes a lot of really nasty content a lot easier. And this is an NA account, so you guys haven't done Fluffy yet. So I gotta keep that in mind. That's another reason to level Robin Hood, by the way. So far on your account, Robin Hood is actually one of your best picks with your Castoria to deal with Fluffy. But we'll see. Like the twins are alright as well. But yeah, Robin would be a really good option there. And Martha's okay in that fight, depending. But it's always good to have Martha for the buff removal. But your riders are in pretty good shape. It really is just George and Martha. Everything else, you got a single target, you've got an AoE, you've got Ushi, right? Ushi's always a good backup budget rider for like any circumstance. So you're right. I'm hating how every time you have a good unit though, it's at the bottom of the fucking screen. That is driving me crazy. Oh yeah, and level your Ku's PFA skill. That's always a good thing to do. I'm just saying, you can generally get away with not leveling his other 2 skills for a long time, but it's always good to get it to rank 10. That extra cooldown reduction can be really helpful, but it's not that big of a deal because you have a lot of Lancers, so normally you'll be all right. But it is good to just have a pocket Ku just in case of emergency. All right, we already got casters. Nothing's really changed what I said before. You know, get Mozart's 3rd skill for God's sakes. If you're gonna level anything, level Qingong. He's really, really helpful. You could level a VC Braun for farming. He's actually really good at that, but I wouldn't like rush to that. You've got Caster Gill, and you got Caster Gill with Castoria, stuff like that. That's really good. All right, assassins. Oh god, this is a mess. This is probably your weakest. Well, we have Kama, and she is Grail, so that Kama goes a long way. So if it wasn't for Kama, I'd say this is your weakest class. But actually, Kama is so busted that it doesn't matter very much. She is quick again. So you really do have a problem there. Man, I tell you, if you like using quick stuff, you might want to save up and try to get Scatty in the future because you are swimming in quick stuff. So Scatty or Ruler Scatty, either one would be a big boon to your account. Or just Waver, actually. Does NA have the free 5-star yet, chat? I don't even know. Because if y'all haven't gotten the free 5-star yet, you might want to consider getting Waver. Now that's only the, you had one a while ago, but I mean like the permanent one. Yeah, I don't think you'll have that one. You're not the permanent one? Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Now, sure, if there's a 5-star you really want, like, oh my god, I want Artoria or Ozzy, by all means take them. But if you wanted to be purely practical, I probably would pick Waver, because that's one of the better ways to support quick units if you don't have Scatty. And you're just swimming in quick units, so, because I mean, Kama there, I mean, she's grailed and everything. So I'm assuming she's in P1. So if I was going to level anything here, though, it'd probably be Fuma, because you could use some AoE, because all of your assassins are not really aimed at farming, I would say. So yeah, Fuma might help in that department. He's a good utility character anyway. I wouldn't rush to do it, though. Like, because you have Kama, Assassin is probably the last class I would level right now. This is probably my lowest priority of leveling something would be Assassin, because yeah, Kama is so busted that she'll get. I'm sure you've noticed, right? Like, Kama do really well, and you can even use her with Castoria. It's not the best combo ever, but it's totally fine. But if you had like Waver and Castoria, that could support your quick units really, really well. But yeah, your assassins obviously work on your skill ranks, right? Your skill ranks are atrocious, but that's kind of normal for a newer account. Okay, so Brunhilde is actually a pretty good general berserker. She's fine for farming. She's fine for boss killing. That's a really good unit for this account, actually. And if you do level Qingong, it's really good for that. Your Masashi is super, super good because she's art, and she's Grail, so that works with Castoria. I imagine that you farm with that a lot. That's another reason to level your Arash, though. If you do like Arash, Castoria, and then Masashi, and then Arash gets replaced for any other good farming unit or buffer for Masashi, you can farm like everything, right? Like that'll work for most stages. Same for Spartacus. Spartacus can be a good option as well. So if you get Spartacus in a Arash shop, you'll be able to farm very, very efficiently for a lot of stuff. Although I will say, farming is starting to change on JP, right? I'm sure my JP players know what I'm talking about. The new free quests these days have really mixed up what kind of units are good for farming, so it's not bad to start getting ready for that. Thankfully, you already have some good units for that kind of content. They start incorporating a lot of single target nonsense and like just weird shit, but Castoria is always good for that, and you've got some single target stuff. So you'll be all right, but it is something to consider that they are really changing how nodes work on JP. At least the good farming nodes, or the best farming nodes. But you got the old school ones you can still do. But yeah, your Berserkers are fine. I would just get Spartacus up, because it's always good to have Spartacus and Arash. It's just always good to have Spartacus and Arash. Probably lower priority on this account, though, because you do have Masashi and Castoria. It's not that big of a deal. You probably already know it. That's probably why he's 50, right? You know it's like, yeah, good to have this eventually, but no rush. Probably level Asterios. Asterios is one of those characters that I think every single account should level. You won't even use him very often. The thing is, he's ultra easy to level. If you level a skill, all you need to level is his defense up. That's it, right? He's so low investment, and every once in a while, they put out a challenge quest or a main story fight where Asterios is a huge help. Like Veach, he was really good for that Veach boss fight, which you all don't have yet on an A. But yeah, there's that big boss fight with Veach, and he's really helpful there. Because like she makes it so your buffs are RNG, but your debuffs aren't, so he's really, really good there. So yeah, always good to level Asterios. Super low investment. Sometimes he just breaks bosses and like makes them so much easier, because the boss will have a high hit count. They'll feed him NP constantly. He'll NP over and over again, and the boss does no damage, right? So just good to have. I just don't think there's any reason for an account not to have an Asterios in their back pocket. Even if you only use him once a year, it's so easy to level him, and when you do need him, it's just so nice to have him, right? So I would definitely level him, just because, again, it's easy. Super easy to do it, and just in case. You never know what the game is going to add. Alright, totally worth it to get Mash to 10, right? So she's worth the 2 lures if you can get them. It looks like you're out of lures because the numbers aren't yellow, but it's always, I say this all the time, Mash is a very high priority to get to 10. She's super, super important, and she helps a lot, especially if you're not an Omega Whale. To do that. You do have some good extra classes here, though. That'll help you out with some annoying content. What NP rank is... So, MHXX, excuse me, is very, 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 very good for Fluffy, who's like the hardest boss fight in the main story, and y'all are going to get there in like 6 months or something like that. Maybe a little bit more than 6 months, but anyway, she's a good option there, but I presume she's NP1. So your best DPS option that I'm thinking for Fluffy right now is either MHXX or Robin Hood. It might just be Robin Hood, honestly. Let me take a peek here. The twins are alright. Like the twins, even at NP1, the twins are alright, but you do want to hit fucking hard. That's the whole thing with Fluffies. You gotta hit super hard. But yeah, MHX is really good there, because if you did like MASH, MHXX, Castoria, the story support one, and then your story support Castoria, maybe working Asclepius, that's definitely a workable team. And like with Mash's defense up, MHXX won't just explode. Yeah, I would lean towards using her for Fluffy, so maybe get those skill ranks up, because Fluffy's a big boy. It's it's something you need to prepare for. Like he's an account crusher for sure. If you like MHXX, then I would say, try to maybe get her NP2 if you ever get the chance, right? If you happen to like the character. If you really don't like MHXX, though, your other options for Fluffy, I would say, are maybe Scath, and then obviously Robin Hood. And if you happen to like Robin Hood, I mean, he really is good there. And the twins are fine. The thing is, you really don't have a super good fluffy option because all of your good options are NP1. If it was me, right? If this was me and my goal was just to do really well and like be self-sufficient and all that, I would grail Robin Hood. That's what I would do. Because if you have no guarantee of getting NP2 of those golds, right? Robin Hood's the only thing you can get to NP5 really easy. You probably already have him NP5. Yeah, you do. So if it was me, I'd grail Robin Hood to like 80 at least, maybe 90, right? It's not a lot of grails to do that. And then you got this big Castoria, right? You got this big Castoria, you got Castor Gilgamesh, right? So then grailed Robin Hood is just gonna shit stomp stuff when you do need single target stuff. Because even with Castoria, like the Twins, Yagyu, MHXX, at NP1, they're gonna hit hard, but it's not gonna be like that devastating, just like blow up a super crazy tanky boss. Now you don't fight super crazy tanky bosses a lot, and so if you're just worrying about farming, you know, then you've got your farming options down pretty well. Honestly, if your main goal is farming, I would say level Fionn, actually, because you've got Castoria. So get Fionn to 10-10-10, and that'd be a good option for farming. But you know, you've got Musashi, so I can't imagine you're having too much problems with farming. Although I guess Yang is a good option for Fluffy as well, and you could bring both. Actually, that's probably what you could do is like you make your starting lineup something like this. This is not gonna be the perfect team top of my head here, but your front line would be like Mash, MHXX, Destroy Support Castoria. Your next unit would be either Asclepius or your Castoria, and then maybe another support or something, and then Yang, right, as a cleanup DPS. That's a pretty good team for that. My main worry is upcoming story content, so yeah, Fluffy is a big one. You also have Morgan, though. You've got a team for Morgan. All you really need for Morgan is your Mash to be 10-10-10. Like, they give you a story support Castoria, your Mash, literally any DPS, as long as you play it properly, you can deal with it. What else is coming up? You guys have got, what's her name? The fucking stupid, what the hell is her name? I forgot her name. 5.5. I don't remember her name. Ibuki, that's the one. You got Ibuki. You got Castoria. You should be fine. Hopefully, you've got a Pearson vulnerability CE that makes the fight so much easier. But something you can do for Ibuki is use your Asclepius. If you've got the CE that gives you debuff immunity, it's like Joan of Arc looking into the mirror. You equip that to Asclepius so he doesn't get debuffed on turn 1. So then you can use his third skill and clear the debuffs on your other 2 units for Ibuki. It'll make the fight way easier. That's really worth remembering, by the way, chat. That's very helpful for Ibuki. And then your DPS can have a Piercing Vulnerability, Craft Essence. That will help a lot. If you don't have one, you can get one from the Pure Prism shop. There's Attila. There's an Attila, the Hun Piercing Vulnerability CE you could use. It's really good there. That will make Ibuki so much easier. But you've got what you need for Ibuki, because your DPS is like your archers generally. You don't have a Pearson Vulnerability archer, but I don't think you'll need it. Definitely level David though. Holy shit, get your David up for Ibuki, because Ibuki comes up really soon. Don't y'all? I think y'all get Ibuki like next month or something. And yeah, you're gonna want David, because she's a saber, all that nonsense, and having the evade is really helpful in that fight. So yeah, David actually, because that's coming up, I would say level David right the fuck now. That's actually, I would say, absolute top priority on this account is leveling David up. And maybe Robin Hood, honestly, like seriously, Robin Hood will do this account a lot of good. But yeah, David. Yeah, and she's giant. But yeah, I think that covers everything. Pretty much, yeah, level your fucking David, get your Mozart's third skill, just work on skill ranks in general. You know, get a Asterios up, there's no reason not to. And then, yeah, I would actually favor MHXX over Yang for Fluffy, especially because Yang does debuffs, and that makes Fluffy hit harder. So I would favor MHXX for Fluffy. I don't think I have an Ignore Invulnerability CE. Let me get on my account real quick here, and I can... Well, this is not my main, but let's see what I have. So I might have some of them that I could point out. Because there's more in the game than I think people realize. When it comes to Piercing Vulnerability. So there is obviously the Attila one you can get for rare prisms. You don't need to limit break it, you just need 1 copy of it. That's all you need. I don't know if I bought it on this account yet, but if I don't, I probably will, because it's really good. But yeah, it's just in the rare prism shop. I swear though I did buy it. Okay, hold on. There's Origin Bullet, right? That's a pretty easy one to get. But you might just coincidentally not have... Yeah, this is Piercing Vulnerability, so that works. So I got the Arjuna one. Do I not have the Attila one? That really is weird if I didn't buy it. Well, I'll just go buy it now because I wanted to show it off anyway. Alright, let's see. Rare prisms. Nope, that's pure prisms. Okay, it's in here somewhere. This should definitely be on NA. I don't think it's JP specific by any means. I think you'll have had it for quite a while. I thought I already bought it though, so I'm kind of wondering if I just didn't see it. Oh no, there it is. So you can buy a bunch of copies of it. It'll give you more starting NP, which is not bad. But in the meantime, I would just try to get the one copy of it. Because the main thing you want is the Pearson vulnerability. But yeah, always good to get that CE. It's one of the better Pearson vulnerability CEs anyway, because it does come with starting NP, so it's quite nice. And yeah, always get Anniversary Blonde. That's always a good thing. Alright, I think we covered all the bases there, though. Get back to Epic of Remnant here. Yeah, the CE is all attack. Yeah, it's quite nice. I liked it with Billy because Billy's got his battery, and then if the CE's not limit broken, you're going to use Asclepius's battery anyway, and then you can NP turn 1. Yeah, seriously, Billy's good for Ibuki. He is. If you're worried about Ibuki, Billy's a good option because you can turn 1 NP and then get to the second health bar right away, and then like ping off a lot of her shields, because one of her shields is doing NP, right? So, and also do a quick card. So you instantly ping off 2 shields. You get or 2 of the thingies, because you get the quick card and the NP at the same time. It's quite nice. But yeah, with Asclepius, Billy, and that Attila CE, it is very easy to NP immediately. Alrighty. Assassin, we still don't have any good options for that. Kind of just Berserker. We go double Berserker, then Mash, that's fine, and then I can do Geronimo, the actual account savior. Okay, not that. Probably just a trash stage. You can get rare prisms a few ways. They give them out from events from time to time and stuff like that. I will level my Anastasia. We're going to need that for Jamosa, and we're going to need it for Lost Vault 3. Oh, it's only 1 wave. Well, time to fire everything then. See if I can get my NPs quickly. But yeah, Anastasia is like the only DPS caster we're gonna have, and she's AoE, so she's so useful. But yeah, I always tell people, if you get a gold servant you don't really like, it is totally fine to burn them. Because you can basically see it as, instead of pulling that random gold servant you don't really hype, you pulled Anniversary Blonde instead, or that Attila CE instead, and those are very useful. Now, if you do wait long enough, you can eventually get rare prisms without burning anybody, because when you get like a dupes of a welfare, you get rare prisms, and they just give out straight rare prisms from time to time. But that's actually a mistake I see a lot of people make. They get like so hung up on sentiment, they'll get a gold unit they don't even like, and they're not gonna level, and they don't burn it, and then they complain that they have no rare prisms. And it's just kind of silly. There is a good reason why on my like 80 ult accounts, every single one of them has Anniversary Blonde and that Attila CE, right? Oh, leveling up welfares gives you rare prisms now. That's right. I don't think NA has that though, do they? Or do they? I guess they got some of that stuff early. I don't know. I wouldn't think so, because you guys don't have like the card update. You don't have the apples yet, the blue apples. I don't think you have that. We don't? Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to wait on that. Feels bad. NA life. Hey, we get a rainbow chain here. But there are other Pearson vulnerability CEs other than the Attila one. It's just that's like a very accessible one. But by the time you get to 5.5, hopefully you maybe gotten the Kurotsugu one. I mean, I always say it's like, you know what, if you don't need rare prisms, don't burn characters for no reason, right? Because maybe they get buffed, maybe, you know, give them a cool animation update, you know, something might change your mind about the character. So don't burn frivolously by any means. But if you're like, hey, I really need Anniversary Blonde, or I need the Attila CE, you want to get them, right? Like, it's better to get those things than some random gold you don't care about. Because a lot of people see gold and they're like, oh, this is important, I need to keep this, but it's not always the case. Alright, trying to think. What do we... I guess Moriarty is going to be an annoying boss for us. We definitely see that being a problem. What are our options with that? Yeah, Leonidas, yeah, I'm just thinking if we need to, like, upgrade a Lancer for that. I mean, I guess Romulus is always a good pick. Okay, there are 9 enemies. I have a feeling that Hohenheim cannot do enough damage here. Really awesome like that. And you can't do 20k at counter class. We'll see. Oh no, he got it. Alright, I'm overly shitting on him. Excuse me. No, he got that. That was neutral. He would have failed though. Alright, I guess we Lancelot this one. Probably do the attack up. Get some Hohenheim refund. Yeah, honestly, with how fucked up his MP multiplier was, yeah, I'll take it. Like, that was good enough. I don't know if we actually needed the attack up there. That might have been a waste. Okay, and then Salami can chomp this guy. And we go for crits. That's actually pretty smooth. I don't hate that. The ending's gonna be a little rough, but this account's always gonna have those kind of problems. Statues can be a problem at the beginning, but they're really nothing in the long run. You get to the point where you have so many, you don't even have servants to use them on. But yeah, there's the tutorial missions now. You can get statues from that really easy, so make sure to clear some of those. Because you can do those by doing other things, and you'll get a lot of statues from that, so that should help. I think you have at least one more event before 5.5, I would hope. Also, fuck, they killed Lancelot. Camelot is doomed. Funnily enough, if they had allowed Lancelot to help them at Camelot, it probably would have kept Artoria alive. And probably Gawain too. Also, Gawain wouldn't have been so hurt. That's the whole reason he dies to Mordred, is because he's fucked up from Lancelot. Bad use of manpower. They added the collect all button. No, I need to do that. I said I wasn't collecting any of my tutorial stuff on NA until they added collect all, so I'm gonna have to do that now. Okay, we're really struggling at the end here, trying to get Salami's MP again. Yeah, I don't think I collected a single one until they added collect all, so that'll be satisfying to do them all at once. We got like well over 100, I think. Well, Nash is dead. Castanero is nuts. And she is super strong. I was gonna do Geronimo's 2 cards, but now that I think about it, Geronimo's not gonna do shit. So we're just gonna do that and try to get her NP. Why couldn't you hit Salami like 1 time? But his quick up, I know, right? Can we please have a Geronimo buff? Like, they need to buff the hell out of him, dude. He needs to get like 2 buffs at the same time. Add like NP charge to his first skill, and then like evade to his 3rd skill, right? And there you go, now he's fixed. I want to see how much damage she does out of curiosity. That's really all you gotta do though. Like, give him a battery on his 1st skill, evade on his 3rd skill, or like a team-wide attack up within his 1st skill, or like a utility, you know, maybe team-wide debuff immunity for 1 time. That'd be nice. Actually, fuck yeah, that'd be nice. But yeah, just add other effects to his skills and he'll be fine, because his NP is great. For a budget unit anyway. Actually, no one really has his entire kit in 1 skill. People say that all the time as like a joke, but they really don't. It's like his are 50%, and then his NP is like a really big deal, etc., etc. Now that does not mean his, you know, his skills are good. They're really not. But well, his 2nd skill's fine. Like, honestly, there's no problem with the 2nd skill. But the real issue, it's not even that his skills are vanilla. That's literally not the problem. It's like he's got a Buster up when he's got 2 Buster cards and an Art NP. That's not useful, right? He has a Quick Up when he's got 1 Quick card. Right, like, it's like that doesn't do anything, right? It wouldn't matter if you made him like Emiya, where he casts the stuff all at once. That wouldn't help. Like, that wouldn't help at all. It's like he literally doesn't have a kind of deck to support anything like that. So he basically has an Art up and then a good NP, and that's it. And that's just not enough to compete with like Babbage and Caster Coup and all that other crazy stuff out there. It's not even close to enough, right? He's way behind. That being said, though, Geronimo is significantly better than like Jekyll and Hyde and stuff like that. And I think I've proved that on stream many times when I do use Geronimo. Like, Geronimo is not amazing, but because his NP is solid, you can get some, you know, pretty straightforward value out of him that can be useful, right? Where, like, good luck doing anything with Jekyll and Hyde, right? That's just a complete nightmare. Like, we've unironically used Geronimo on this account, and he was actually been useful. Jekyll and Hyde is allowed on this account, and we haven't even leveled him, right? There's a reason for that. It's not worth it, right? He's total garbage. Alright, let's see. Right, Berserkers, excuse me. I'm delirious. Probably Billy. Me and Kairo's Billies are almost the same. Although, that's interesting. Cairo got his 1st skill, or passive. I got his 2nd. And then he's 1 rank ahead of me on the battery. I wonder if I've got enough actually, let me check. Do I have enough coins to get more Billy stuff? Yeah, I got the battery because I knew we weren't going to get his skill to rank 10 for a while, so it kind of helps offset that. Nope, we have 15 Billy coins. That is ridiculous. Okay, he can get 1. He's definitely gonna want the starting NP because he doesn't have like a battery or anything. That's easy pick. But way more Kid Guild coins though. He's not that far away from getting a 2nd one. Hector, same thing. I think battery. I can't see why I wouldn't want that. I could roll for more Lancelots. I don't think that's crazy. I think focusing on Lancelot is a pretty reasonable thing to do. Like, I know Attila's going to be really useful, but I don't like her, and Cairo's probably going to get her. So I might just roll on Lancelot. I don't know. Any up-and-coming 4 or 5-star really worth rolling for? Let me think. I mean, I guess if you see all Wu would be really helpful for your account because you need quick stuff. And then, see, here's the thing, and people are gonna dislike this advice because people like new shiny, but like, honestly, the best thing you could do on your account is getting extra copies of things that you already have. You've already got a really good roster. Like, really, you've already got a good roster. And you've got some stuff you might need to level up that you haven't leveled yet, but like, getting like Yagyu to NP2 would be way better than getting some other 4-star. Right? Like, that'd be way better, right? Getting the twins to NP2, like, because I gotta stress this. NP1 to NP2 is for most units, that is the largest damage increase they ever see, right? Like 2 to 3 is not as big, 3 to 4 is not as big, 4 to 5 is not as big, right? 1 to 2 is huge, right? And a lot of 5-stars their NP kind of feels like a wet noodle at NP1, and then boom, at NP2 it comes in its own, and it's really good. So yeah, if I was you, what I'd be actually worrying about is just getting NP2 of some of your favorite units, like MHXX or whatever. Like, MHXX would be the most helpful because of Fluffy, but that's temporary, right? You can always cheese Fluffy with command codes, or I'm sorry, command spells and blue cubes if you wanted to, right? I never recommend that, but you know, you could always do that if that's a concern. All right, Boudica starting NP actually sounds pretty good. I haven't leveled her, but eventually I will. She's going to be a decent budget support in the context of this account. Also, high rope. Jin K, battery, definitely. For most people, it's gonna be battery. It's, gives you, especially when you get it to rank 10, and then a vanilla K-scope allows you to have your NP right away. I mean, that's huge. Let's see. I don't have them leveled, though I probably shouldn't use it. And some of these are banned. I think Rice Man is banned. Is he banned? Let me see. I'm pretty sure he is. He's pretty good. Yeah, he's banned. I figured. Alright, oh, that's right. William Tell's not banned, and we might use him for Fluffy. He's a possibility, so just one to keep an eye on. We've already got her passive. Alright, that's about all I can do, it looks like. Okay, let me think about Lancelot. What does Lancelot do for this account in the long run? And then what does Attila do? Like, what big Lancer bosses or AoE situations are there that Attila would be a big help? So big Lancer bosses, I can't think of much that's too bad. And we've already got past Lion King, and that was hard, but we're already past it. Now they obviously might add Lancer bosses in the future, and we need to be ready for that. Yeah, I don't think we need Attila that much. Yeah, Baldy's easy. Baldy's super easy. And so is Lolly Dragon. She's really easy too for them. I mean, nothing's easy on this account, to be fair. But in comparison to the other things we have to worry about, I don't think that's a particular problem. Although when I think about it, what we'll be using is Saber Gilius. Those things seem a lot harder when your only Saber is Saber Gilius. Yeah, there's Poseidon. I mean, it doesn't hurt. It does not hurt to get Attila, even though I don't like her. She is useful. But for a lot of those fights, though, you can summon a friend, right? I don't think you can summon a friend for the Lolly Dragon, but that's not too bad. Poseidon is probably harder than that. Oh yeah, Canis is no joke. Like, she's not as hard as the other stuff in Lost Belt 5 at all, but she really is not a joke. And if you don't have like any good units for it, yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to. I don't want to level Attila. I don't like her very much, and she's not that good. The thing is, if I don't roll for Attila, I'm gonna have to grail Saber Gilius. Like, who else is allowed? Let me see. Sabers. Oh God. Yeah, it's Dion, who I don't have. So my account literally has Jason and Saber Gilius. That is it. That is it. So me and Cairo were saying when we get to 2.0, we might allow some other units. Like, we're probably going to allow Valkyrie because she's so shit. Like, who cares? I don't think there really is another Saber we can add, though. Like, Bedivere and Caesar are way too good. Now, like, Billy's, pretty good, but we allowed him, though, because you needed another Archer, and we need another Saber to be legal, but Bedivere and Caesar are just way, way too good to allow, so like, we can't do that. Yeah, I think our option, no, we can't allow Fergus. No way. Like he's way too good too. He's crazy. And like we said, we're not gonna. This is, oh God, this is gonna be so hard to explain. So we make the list how units are at that moment, right? When we made who's allowed, it was based on how they were at the time. If they get buffed after the fact, we're not going to remove them because that's just fucking stupid, right? And then you're just gonna have no units available, and it just doesn't make any waste time leveling. It's just absolutely not. But if we're gonna evaluate a unit that's not allowed, if we want to allow them to be added, then we're obviously gonna factor in whatever buffs they have now, right? So Fergus wasn't allowed before, and if we're going to think about adding him now, it obviously would be based around his buff, and like he's just way too good, right? So no way. Yeah, there really just is no Saber that we can allow. Like that's why Attila is allowed, because Attila's not nearly as good as Caesar or Bedivere. She's not nearly as good as them. She's better for maybe farming, but for boss killing, she's not even close. Like, holy shit, Bedivere is light years ahead of her. Yeah, we should probably try to get Attila. I think it'll just be so much suffering if I don't. Like, it'll just be terrible. It sucks, because I don't like Attila in the slightest, but, yeah, I think I need to do it. And we got NP2 Lancelot, and, like, that was really lucky, so I think we just take that to the bank. Alright, so, Billy it is. I mean, I'll probably grail Gilius anyway, because I don't think she's enough. So, you know, he's probably still getting grailed at least to 80. I think a lot of stuff is getting grailed to 80, because there's no reason not to. I mean, look how small our roster is. Our roster is tiny. So, it's really easy to give, you know, shit grails. It's like, no problem. But yeah, no, he's probably still gonna get grailed. I don't see why not. Yeah, Roland is way too strong. He's got AoE buff removal. We would use him all of the time, and we wouldn't use Alex much anymore if we had that. And we don't have him anyway, so it wouldn't matter, but, Alright, let's see here. Maybe go K-Scope and then use his battery skill after. That's not crazy. Berserker versus Berserker is never the best. Actually, let's do that. That could be good. Yeah, I like that. In case we need some AoE. Boy, we do not have a lot of AoE options. The one reason, though, it'd be nice to roll for more Lancelot is if I could get enough coins to get his passive. That's a huge help. Because then you can NP with just K-Scope, and you don't need Super K-Scope or any of that. What else? Alright, that seems pretty good. Astolfo is way too good. That's not even close. I mean, that is so much better than everything on the list. Just because Astolfo is not as good as, like, Musashi, that doesn't make them, like, on the lower end of things at all. Like Astolfo Saber is, like, so much better than most 4 stars and 3 stars, right? Like, not even close. That's why there's fuck all 5 stars on the list. And like the few 5 stars on the list are the ones that are like abnormally yikes. And there's actually only 3 5 stars on the whole list. And that was before Attila got her recent buff too. Because she probably wouldn't have been added if she had that buff back then. But yeah, they're like, Astolfo is so much better than like Anastasia or Lion King. It's not even close. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Rama is the only thing I could think of that could maybe be allowed. Because he is so fucking vanilla. I'll run that by Cairo. Yeah, maybe. Now, we're not going to allow them until 2.0, so we got to get the Epic of Remnant first. Yeah, maybe we allow Rama, because he... Let me look at his kit again. If he didn't get that one buff, I would say yes, but he did get that bust resist down. So he is kind of comparable to Bedivere. I mean, Bedivere is definitely better than him, but... you know, not by, like, that much. I don't know, though. He is pretty shite, I tell you what. Like, yeah, he can get some straightforward value. He's got some hard survival. He's got an upgraded... he's got an upgraded NP, and he's got a hard survival skill. That's all you really need. And he is single target. Like, if he was AoE, we would definitely allow him. Like, we would definitely allow him if he was AoE. No, Saber Lily's way too good. I think she's way too good. Like, she's really strong these days, actually. Because even though she's kind of got weak stats for a 4-star, she doesn't have weak stats for a 3-star, and we're using 3-stars all the time. So she's actually strong for a 3-star, and then she has starting NP because of her passive, and then she has a battery because they buffed her, and then her NP hits harder than normal. I mean, like, she gets her NP like it's nothing now. Alrighty, what am I gonna do? Oh, this is fucking, damn it, we have a terrible team for this. Oh, fuck, I don't even remember which one you're supposed to kill first. Oh bother. Well, I'll do I think we kill Christina first, but no, he's got an AoE NP though. I think we kill him first. Alright, I want to get my NP as fast as possible. Don't have a good opening hand for that. Probably should have just done a quick chain then. Look at him giving himself a defense down though to help us out. Awfully nice of him. And I can get rid of the crit buff, so that's a thing. Okay, we'll get our NP here. Can I work in some Stargin while I'm at it? I think so. Middle Billy might not get his NP, but I wasn't going to use it anyway. I think I'll save the attack up because I'm not really sure what these health bars are going to look like. Alright, Billy, come on. Decent, but ooh, 1,000, god damn. That'd have been so good if we broke there because then I could just NP with the other Billy. Oh, shit. Yeah, Abigail's fine, and like foreigners are just broken in general. Like any foreigner would just be way too strong. Like imagine having Abigail here, so you're not taking big berserker damage. I mean, it'd just be a joke. I think I focus on Stargin. Sucks that we didn't break his health bar because we got all these awesome crits. Like, and we could have done our crit ups. We just whipped so much damage because of that 1,000 health. Like, yikes. I like how he just keeps giving himself defense down. Okay, I think we're gonna do a quick chain. I think I do want to incorporate some crit here. There's no Buster card though, so maybe not. I think I'm gonna save the attack. Well, if I do the attack up, maybe he doesn't get his NP ever. I'd have to be able to kill him next turn. He might have it. Extra attack. Oh yeah, we got him right there. Nice. Yeah, that's really good. No Phantom NP to deal with. This turns into a giant ghost, I'm pretty sure, but until you break, it's a single target NP, and then it becomes AoE. Alright, so Kairo's Billy is able to get his NP faster, but no cards here. Chad, it is beyond me why people think Billy... Oh, Piercing Vulnerability. It is beyond me, though, why so many people think Billy is about crits first. It's like, his crit damage is nice, sure, and is absolutely part of his kit. Like, clearly. But his main thing is the NP, right? He's like... I guess his main thing is NP into crit into NP, potentially, right? It's kind of like, you get some medium NP damage, medium crit damage, like, that's kind of his shtick. But the big value from him is absolutely the easy access to the NP. Like, his crits are totally nice, but they are not the main draw of the unit. Okay, I wonder if it gets Pierce Invulnerability as a giant ghost. That would be awful, and if so, I should use the evades before that. But, we'll just have to see. Maybe I should not have done that, because saving the heal would not have been bad. Could do a Romulus Brave Chain. Fuck it, we're doing it. Who needs NP gain when you have giant trees? Don't have his attack buff from Imperial Privilege, but I didn't want to whip the heal when there was no guarantee of actually getting the attack buff. It was better damage than I thought. I think she just removed Billy's buffs. That was kind of annoying. Nice. And now we go for NP gain. We got this. This is actually pretty smooth considering I didn't know what I was dealing with. Yep, she just randomly removes your buffs. Even if she removes buffs and takes the evade off, that would be one attack where you don't get a hit, because she can only attack 2 times after, so... Alright, here we go. I think she's dead next turn. The only way that would get screwed up is if her very first action was removing the middle Billy's buffs, and then the next 2 actions were both crits. That was like the one way that would have gone super south. Alright, easy peasy. So far, still, the hardest story has been Camelot. By a lot, actually. And then Fuyuki. Like, with these restrictions, Fuyuki was a nightmare, and then, but honorable mentions to Orleans, the Demon Pillar, was really, really hard. But yeah, Camelot has been the hardest thing by quite a bit. Babylonia probably would have been close in difficulty if we did it at the same level. Because we were level capped at 60 for Camelot and then 70 for Babylonia. But I think that's fair. I mean, that's how they're designed, so I think that was totally fair. But if we had done them both at 60, Babylonia would have been closer to Camelot in difficulty. But I think Camelot still would have been harder. Like the Demon Pillar and Ozzy and all that shit, that was a nightmare, man. And Gwaine was a nightmare. Gwaine was that was an experience having Gwaine feel like such a gatekeeper again. With these restrictions, he was just a fucking nightmare. I actually wish we hadn't fought him so soon. Because we relied on RNG, and I wish we didn't have to. If we just leveled up a bit more and gotten like a few more of the units ready, I think it would have been a lot better. Let's see. I don't know what fight this is. That's fine. Put Lancers everywhere. God, can you imagine if we allowed Chen Gong? Like, that is so broken. You'd use them every goddamn stage. This is fine. Billy Bond. Yes. Oh yeah, Booty Lancer. I totally forgot about her. Yeah, she's another 5-star that's allowed. But I see, if she was single target though, she wouldn't be allowed. That's the thing. She absolutely would not be. But because she's got a pretty average toolkit and then she's AoE and you need her for boss busting, she's not that good. But if she was single target, she never would have been allowed. Like, she's only allowed because she's AoE. And I think that's totally fair. Like, I think it was the right call. Yeah, I think Camelot does have the harder fights, and you have to do it sooner, so you're less prepared, and that's a big part of it. But yeah, this is the only account that Fuyuki has ever been difficult on, and it really was, and it's because we were level capped at level 1. And, you know, we had no rolls, we had no FP, so we just got a few random-ass servants, and we had to make it work. Like, man, we had to get pretty creative, for some of those final stages in Saber Altar. That was tough. I really enjoyed it though. That was the most fun I had ever had in Fuyuki. Like, it was an actual blast. Do I do the Buster Up? No, that's not necessary at all. I might actually save his Buster Up to give to the other Romulus. I think that's fine. Actually, the other Romulus should have NP'd because he has the 2 Buster cards, so I could have done a Buster Brave Chain. I have faith that he's got this though, and Chad, I have so much faith that I'm gonna go get water, and when I come back, I expect to be on the next wave. See, chat, always level the faith stat. Works out, no problem. All right, here we go, big damage. Attack buff, yeah, there you go. Buster buff, other buster buff, other buster buff. Do that. See you all. Thanks for hanging out, man. Hell yeah, look at that damage. Fuck! We could have min-turned! Chat, we could have 2-turned it. Could have been meta. Oh well. So far, this has not been super hard, but the real boss fights are at the end. That's how this Singularity is, off memory. Not meta, trash account. True, this is a trash account. You might say a garbage account. Single target or AoE? Saber. We could do both. This looks good. God, not having David is so devastating, man. Yeah, Lobo Avenger, definitely the hardest fight. But the Demon Pillar with Moriarty, that's gonna be tough too. Okay, I've had some YouTube comments about these accounts, and people are like, "Oh wow, you allow K-scope and stuff." They act like it's not that much of a challenge. They have no idea. I really stand by this. I think if most people did this challenge as me and Cairo are doing it, because I think most people would actually not do it like me and Cairo are. They would still summon friend supports that are busted. They wouldn't have a friend that also has to have the same restrictions, and they can't go past you. They can't have higher levels than you, right? You have to stick to the level restrictions and all that. I don't think very many people would do it. I think a lot of people would get annoyed and just stop. Like, I don't think a lot of... Now, I will say, because, like, I think me and Cairo have pretty much made the correct decisions. You could always just watch what me and Cairo did and maybe make a few improvements here and there. And then anybody could do it, right? But if most people had to do this blind, right? They don't have other players to pull from. And just you and their friend. And they follow all of the rules, because I bet you 90% of people would break the rules on purpose or otherwise. But I don't think a lot of people would actually do it. I don't think they could handle it. Alright, let's see here. I mean, I'm not really looking forward to anything. It's more like I'm dreading everything, but, you know, if we beat Fluffy, I'll be really happy, but I think that might be impossible, but we'll see. I don't know, if we get like 120'd William Tell, Billy, and Charlotte, I'd probably do it then, right? But I don't know, we'll see. Alright, that's a biggin'. No point in doing Kid Gill's crit down until the enemy actually has crit up. So we'll wait on that one. The only way I could get... I'll do this. This sucks to not use, like, the Billy's card there, but... Wait a minute. I was supposed to put the art card before the NP, so we gave the art card bonus to Kid Gil. I guess I could have just used, Actually, no, I couldn't do a rainbow chain. That's not possible, but yeah, I would not have gotten his NP right there, but... Honestly, if I did his golden rule and did the art card first, he'd be really damn close, but it looks like he'd have gotten it this turn either way because of the art cards being like that. So I guess ultimately it did not matter. You know what? We'll go for the crit chance. If you don't have a buster card, quick card first is actually pretty good these days. A little crit in there. Okay, really good time for Kid Gil's NP, because now the dude's got the buffs. Rainbow Chain or Art. Probably Art. I don't see the only benefit to the Rainbow Chain would be the crit chance, but this is fine. Or like the Ruler Pillar in Argartha, that's gonna be really difficult. I mean, Shimosa is gonna be really difficult. I tell you, the first one though in the main story that I can think of that we're gonna have to really figure out is Lee. Lee is gonna be a hell of a roadblock. Now, I'm not saying we're not gonna get stuck on other bosses along the way. I mean, we've gotten stuck on so many random ass, like we got stuck on fucking, you know, Oceanus Demon Pillar, so you know, I don't know how like Ivan's Mammoth is gonna go and all, but yet Lee is gonna be a thing. That's gonna be a thing. And then you and Horspindo, that's gonna be a thing. And then Mothman's gonna be a thing, right? Lost Belt 3 is definitely gonna be a big hurdle for this account. But yeah, Shootin' and Raiko I do think are gonna be tough. Art Chain looking pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, you probably got through it easily because you have Castoria and you can summon a friend support and all that, right? It's like, that's not available over here, so there's no easy street for like any of these bosses. But both Mothman and Lee can actually be soloed by friend supports. Like Mothman can be soloed by Jolter, Gorgon even, and Mothman can be soloed by a few casters here and there. Mothman, I think, or Lee actually I think is harder to solo though, now that I think about it, because of the insta-death and all that bullshit. Where Mothman's actually not too hard to solo. Okay, so we want to do this, and not a lot of reasons to do the crit up, even if I Rainbow Chain. I think I just double NP then. Bang, bang, bang. Alright. This might kill him. I don't know about that though, no attack buff. 100 Face is so good for the Shoot and Raiko fight. What you do, and you can mess, some people mess this up and they do it backwards and it ruins it, but you make your front row very burst oriented and the only thing you care about is killing Shootin' as fast as possible. You completely ignore Raiko, you let units die, you don't give a shit about it, you just kill Shootin' as fast as possible. And then you just put 100 Face in the far back and she'll clean up Raiko pretty much no matter what, as long as you don't make any mistakes. And that is definitely the best way of doing it. However, 100 Face is banned, so we can't do that, and it's going to be a whole, you know, bullshit thing, but I can make this one crit. Alright, we'll do that then. Go like so. Might kill him here, maybe just a, probably going to be short. Wait, I used the wrong Billy card. Okay. Okay, well, yep, should have done this crit skill, not that one. I thought they were in reverse order. Because they're in the same ascension stage, so it's easy to confuse that kind of thing. God damn it. Because even if I didn't kill, he would have been low enough that he would have died this turn, where now he just doesn't die at all. Big bonk. All these crit downs have been nice, though. I probably should have used that skill forever ago. Because, like, you can't charm them. So I should have just made stars. Anyway, we win. Although you have to fight this guy several more times. Sitting Master is normally pretty easy if you just level David, which I'm aware you did not, but because Sitting Master removes buffs after damage, so you just cast David's evade on his NP turn, and it'll save everybody, no matter who he decides to target. It's a big help. And then David's good there anyway, because he's an archer. But David's banned, so he's also going to be hard. Although I don't think he'll be too bad, because like Billy is solid. I do have a feeling though we're going to need more bodies. I don't think Billy alone is going to work. And we can't summon each other, we have to summon Masashi. So I think we're gonna wanna level, like, William Tell or something for that fight. I feel like we're gonna need more oomph. Actually, what Lee does is if he is going to, if you have evade, like when he's in peeing, he will do Pierce Invulnerability. Like, he's scripted to do that. I can't remember the exact way it works, but it's something like that. Now, you can beat it by doing buff block like Clown Boy and Skill Seal and things like that. But he's actually scripted to do Pierce Invulnerability at like set times based on what you do. So it makes Guts really good, obviously. Or Castoria, right? Because Castoria doesn't care about Ignore Invincibility. Okay, chat. I know this is a shorter stream, but I streamed earlier, so it's all kind of messed up. Man, well, I kind of want to keep streaming, but I do want to play Elden Ring, but I don't know, maybe we just do FGO today and we do Elden Ring tomorrow, we'll see. I'll keep playing a bit. I want to keep going a bit here. But I'm not sure what to do, because I do really want to play Elden Ring, but we're kind of just now getting our stride, because we had that headache earlier and I had to kill the stream early, right? So I kind of want to keep going. We'll see. Yeah, I wish I just didn't get that headache earlier. I'll get my 60 to 70 character ready for tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, just a few more people with characters ready for that will allow us to have a lot more fun, I think. Just don't sleep. Yeah, I wish. That's actually what gets me, is I normally stay up a little late anyway. But when it gets later in the day, I'm too tired to stream a lot of the times. I'm like really exhausted. Because, you know, commentary and all that does take a, you know, concentration and whatnot. Oh, see you, Red. Have a good one, man. Let's go Berserker bullshit here. I feel like that's a good... And then clean up with, Billy. Alright, let's see, we'll do that. Romulus. This. You know, maybe we... Hold on. You know what? Let's go double Romulus. That's some good stuff. Okay, bang. Yeah, dude, that co-op was like, didn't work out last time I streamed it, but if we get enough people that can do it, I think that's going to be so much fun. And there'll be a bunch of different zones we can do and everything. I think it'll be really good. Okay, honestly, I don't mind just doing well, I don't know if we need them. Yeah, let's go with that, because that gives you charisma, and they don't need a battery. Alright, and then we can work in that and that. Alright, this should be good. Could give him his NP as well, but I don't think I need to. I mean, who else am I going to give it to, though? Well, there's Salami, actually. Star Bomb. Alright, here we go. Oh, that's right. Romulus gets anti-berserker. He is going to be such an MVP. I mean, he kind of already has. Like, we've used him quite a bit for some of these hard fights out there. But once he's 10-10-10, and we get that anti-berserker passive and everything, that's going to be pretty swell. And he'll have the starting NP passive with his own battery. Yeah, he's going to be a hell of an MVP, I think. Alright, 2 waves. See if we can clear this first wave immediately. I think they're both NP5. Yeah, NP5, NP5, alright. Maybe they have different foe amounts or something. I have more health foes, but I don't know about attack. I don't think you can check your attack. Oh, you can check your attack stat here. 8,875, 9,000, so okay, mine is stronger. I feel like we need the stronger one now, because the next wave is probably going to be Saber or something, so... Definitely do this. I think we do both, and then we save the Imperial Privilege. And then I can Rainbow Chain. 85k though. He might want Imperial Privilege now. Just don't whiff it. He whiffed it! Okay, well, good luck. Hey, NP. See, chat, what I need to do is not have a life and just stream more, right? That way I can work in Art Nights, FGO, Elden Ring, new games. I'd like to play some, you know, different games for shits and giggles, right? But so I need to just not have a life, right? Don't wash your clothes, don't eat, don't take showers, don't spend time with your friends, don't take the garbage out, right? Don't do any of that and just stream all day, right? Just stream all day, it'll all work out, right? Alright, I guess I make stars. Life is so last year, indeed. Nodders, yeah. I need to add Nodders, by the way. That's an amazing emote. What's the Nope one called? I forget. I like both of them. They're both super good. It's like Nopers or something. Yeah, they're both great. 333 and then 370, so he fucked it up at the end there. Yeah, those emotes are top tier as hell. Okay, well, Romulus not so good here now. I'll NP anyways. Mainly just to get the attack buff for Kid Gil. So I have Nopers, but I don't have Nodders. How did I do that? Chat, I'm actually surprised you guys haven't Nopers me more. But I'm surprised I don't get that like thrown at me all the time, actually, with the kind of shit that comes out of my mouth. Cast this for the stars per turn, but there's really no one to crit with, and so we probably wait for Billy. Do this. And now chat's like Legion, that's what that is. Please don't kill Kid Gil before a Lancer, that would make me very upset, game. Okay, just in case, I'm gonna throw this out now. We'll go bonk, bonk, bonk. Yeah, so we only needed one Romulus. We did not. We needed to do, like, Kid Gil, Billy, Romulus. That would have been the trick, but I didn't know what we were fighting. Okay, someone's about to die. Okay, wow, he actually did not crit somehow. Does anybody have Atlas DB up? I am so curious what his base crit chance is. Because I don't think any of these buffs fell off. We could actually figure out exactly what his crit chance was. Because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can look at how much on Atlas DB, how much crit chance it gives him. And then his base crit chance. And then you can see what his crit was. Like, surely his crit rate was really high there, though. So that's insane. And then his crit damage is super nutty. I think I lucked out right there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do this. Oh, Billy's not in the back. Oh, shit. Alright, I guess we're giving Kid Gil the attack up. $54K. That is pathetic. That is, I mean, that Buster card was really nice right there, though, but that NP did not do jack. Look at him critting when we gave him that 50% crit down. Look at him critting it! What?! See, that really makes me question how he didn't crit before. Because we just put a 50% crit down on him, and he crit us a bunch anyway. And you say, well, he had a bunch of crit up, and fair enough, but yeah, then why didn't he crit before when he didn't have... Because whatever his crit chance was, the turn prior, he had 50% more. So, yeah, that's all very weird. Oh my god, Billy is just, like, the absolute last unit here, apparently. Wait, I shouldn't have done that. Well, actually, I'm gonna let Nash die. I'm not gonna use her invulnerability. I'm gonna give him the battery. That way, Billy gets out, and really, who cares about Nash, chat? Total whatever character. Not the NC or anything like that. That'd be such, like, chat, they wouldn't be so crazy to make such a boring vanilla character an NC. That wouldn't happen. Mashed potatoed, absolutely. By the way, mashed potatoes are delicious. Like baked potatoes are good, mashed potatoes are good. Sweet potatoes fucking suck though. Get that shit out of here. Oh, this is such a nice rainbow chain. We have both our crit buffs, and then 180. Too bad he's gonna be dead. Actually, I think I'll do the crits first, just cause. That way we at least get to see some numbers. Obviously, they do more damage later in the chain, but... I almost never make home-made mashed potatoes. I did when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I just don't. I normally will, if I want them, I'll either order them or I will like get a pre-made or whatever. Now, I do make my own baked potatoes, but that's because that's, I mean, how could you not have time to make a baked potato, right? You put a hole in it, you put it in the oven, you turn the oven on. You're done, right? Like, and then yeah, maybe add pepper to it or whatever, but like, you know, that there's not a lot of work there. I love baked potato too, though. Holy crap. Like, I really like baked potato. It's healthy for you too, and again, it's super easy. Actually, I need to get more potatoes now that I think about it. Chat, I did do some cooking the other day, and the meal, and it turned out edible, right? It tasted fine, but I absolutely did not. It was a bit burned. I don't know what burned. It was a bit well done. I'll put it that way, right? I didn't quite ace it, but yeah, I don't cook a lot. Like I'll find a way to burn an egg, man. Although actually, it's easier to burn an egg, I think, than I think some people would think. But I mean, it's not, you know, it's a pretty easy thing to fix. Yeah, for potato, it's either just mashed potato or baked potato. I think that's one or the other. It just depends on my mood. I might lean towards baked potato just because I really like the potato skin. I'm really big on that. But yeah, I'm happy either way. Like, I am damn happy either way. And I'll tell you what. So when I had my mouth surgery, and you know, I was fucked up. It was, you know, very serious surgery, and I could not eat for a long time. But, you know, after a little while, I could eat mashed potatoes. Now, they had to be, you know, a little extra mashy, I guess. But that was, like, a godsend, right? Because anything else I could handle was, like, you know, you like, drink a meal, and that sucks. And when I could handle mashed potatoes, I was so happy, because I love mashed potatoes. Tasted, you know, they taste good. Although, at the time, I had no fucking taste, like, at all. But... just, you know, this is nice. You know, I was happy to get mashed potatoes. And I thought I might get sick of them, but I didn't. Yeah, I never got sick of them, and I still eat mashed potatoes now, so. But yeah, I remember that. I did not taste them super well, but you get the texture, right? You still get the texture, and you still get the smell, right? So you still kind of get the taste, even if you don't have taste, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that was nice. That was like that was the silver lining of when I was recovering from my mouth surgery. I was like, hey, at least I get a lot of mashed potatoes. What's the blue apple? You basically can turn your AP into an apple if you want to. You can be like, hey, I'm not going to use my AP today, and you can just turn them into blue apples, and then you can use the blue apples whenever you want. It's quite nice, actually. It's a very good system. I would have more on this account if I bothered to log in and make them, but I always forget. I really need to get better at that, because I could have hundreds of these if I actually bothered to log in, because you know, we don't play these accounts super often. I don't eat out much. In my area, it's fairly economical. Thankfully, my city is in pretty good shape with that kind of stuff, so it's not like you're not breaking the bank to go out. But I almost never do it. I just, as I've gotten older, I just can't be bothered, and also because my taste is, you know, not what it used to be. I just don't really care. I'm just like, on the one hand, it sucks because I used to really enjoy, like, you know, there's a lot of local restaurants, a lot of different stuff, and I really loved going around and just trying different things, but I don't really do that anymore, but, you know, it just is what it is. But, you know, you do save money, too, so even though it's fairly inexpensive here, I'm still more than happy to save the monies, so. Alright, what are we doing here? I know we fight, what's his name, Yan, at some point. But, and I remember from last time, because I forgot and I got super debated. Yan drains all of your NP. So the trash mobs before him, there's no point in building up your NP. Like, that's what I did, and I got NP drained, and it was completely pointless. Yeah, saving money is good. Try to be very frugal. I wonder why Cairo went with that on Alex. It's kind of... Maybe it was a specific boss fight or something. Can't imagine it doing much for us here. Maybe I should go with Berserker then instead. Yeah, I think we go with Berserker instead. Well, that does have starting NP on it, actually. Yeah, no, it's fine. Besides, who knows? Maybe this is going to be a rare stage where the enemies do have evade or invulnerability. Or invincibility, whatever. Like, no difference between those words. I don't even know. Is there like a dictionary definition difference between invulnerability and invincibility? Like, surely they're so similar it doesn't matter much, but I do wonder if there's like a tiny difference. Either that, or it's one of those things, and a lot of words are like that, where different regions pronounced it differently. Like, the original word was invulnerability, and then some region just didn't pronounce it that way, and they just said invincibility, and then they just became two words. That happens all the fucking time. That well could be the reason. Now, with time, they may have just added different definitions to them slightly, but it would not. They're so similar, and their meanings are so similar. I have a feeling they were originally the same word, and it was just a pronunciation thing. That is definitely my guess, but I've never looked into it. So, what other writers do I have? Wait, is Alex our only fucking writer? Who's allowed? Who's not banned? I gotta look here. Scarbo. Who the hell? So there are other writers allowed, but Jesus Christ, none of those are any good. No wonder I haven't leveled anything. I guess we go with Zhu Fu then, if, maybe not at the start, but like on the team, just to punch something. This for the quick synergy. I actually like that. Boy, kind of sad when she doesn't have an attack stat there. Alright, Zhu Fu is clearly the killer of the team. She's got a art quick deck. Well, I guess we'll do that. Either that or this, but I don't know if we're fighting humanoids, so... If the Berserkers die, Zhu Fu's up to bat. Well, so they have a similar origin, but yeah, they don't have the same origin there, and their original meanings are different, and then they just kind of became the same. Because in like modern English, invincibility and vulnerability mean the same thing. I think if you ask someone on the street, they would have no difference. Like if you asked one person, what does invincibility mean to you? Whatever they describe, and then you ask someone else, what's invulnerability mean to you? They're going to describe the same thing. That's interesting. But I wonder if like those words being similar in the past as well, if there's a connection there or not, but I don't know if we would even know that. Okay, only one wave. That's actually kind of disappointing. I guess we'll just double charm then to stop them from... or not. How are the... Did we not do his buff quest? What the why are they not charmable? I am so confused. Surely we did his buff quest. How the hell... What? I'm so confused, because it said no effect, I think. Either that or just missed. I was playing in speed mode. Maybe they just both failed, because they're not rank 10. Because at rank 10 it's 100%. They don't have magic resist, so it'd work every time. But yeah, it's possible that they just sucked. So surely these guys would be charmable. Kick to the face. Alright, double buffs this time. Let's go. Maximum Lancelot damage. This is like the most damage I could get out of him practically, aside from ranking up the skills more. Like if I did the switch Mystic Code and brought in another buffer, the other buffer wouldn't be good enough to be worth like the drawbacks. Not even close. So he'll get a little bit higher damage from this when you rank up Alex's skills to max, but this is close to peak Lancelot damage we're gonna get on this account. It's solid. That's decent. That'll get us a lot done, I suspect. Yeah, I remember there was this guy. I don't. It's funny because the words are so similar. I don't even remember which which word he said. But there was this guy. Someone had brought up Pierce Invulnerability, and then he was like, "It's Pierce Invincibility," and it was this whole back and forth for a while. But I don't even remember which one he said. I don't remember if it was Invincibility or Invulnerability that he corrected it to. I don't even remember because that shows how little difference there is nowadays. Yeah, I can't remember. I remember rolling my eyes so much. I'm like, the internet moment. Oh wow, did we already get Moriarty's true identity? We're in chapter 11. I think there's like 20 chapters. So I guess we're actually fairly far in. Yan must be soon. I think Yan is soon. Because I can't imagine what the next boss would be if it's not him. And there's a giant ghost in there somewhere too. With like some debuffs or some crap. Yeah, honestly, because it's a translation, I think you could correctly, because there's some, like, Japan and English and Japanese are not very compatible. There never is a one-to-one word. That's just fundamentally not how the languages work, right? So it's more about getting the intent, like what is whoever spoke the thing in Japanese, right, or wrote it, or whatever you're translating, you need to figure out what's in their head and what they're trying to get across, and you need to figure out what words in English get that idea across. And almost always, the closest words, like in terms of like a direct translation, air quotes, won't be correct. Like almost never will that end up being correct. So yeah, it doesn't really matter if you picked Invincibility or Invulnerability. Anyway, boys, okay, I think we'll take a break here. I will get food, and then we'll do some Elden Ring. We'll probably wait to do the co-op thing until like maybe next time, because maybe Cairo will actually be able to do it then, and someone in chat, I think it was Mel, said he was almost ready. So we still won't do the co-op stuff yet, but we'll just dick around, do some invasions and whatnot. I want to use the Dismounter sword because I forgot that thing existed, so I want to try something new. But anyways, boys, I'll be back in like 20 minutes or whatever for Elden Ring, for those that care. For everyone else, thank you for hanging out. We will do more FGO tomorrow, and take care. I'm not going to raid anybody because I'm just going to be back in a few minutes.